G'day. This is Tuesday, the 24th of March, 2020. And this is Daily Future with myself and my co-host, Sally Dominguez. Welcome back, Sally.
Mark, it's good to know that you too are now sheltering in place.
Well, of a sort. We're still allowed to go out. I'm still allowed to go to the cafe and get a cup of coffee in the morning. But yeah, they really don't want us out in public. And this is a really interesting thing. So about 24 hours ago from when we're recording this, all across the country, they closed all of the restaurants, they closed all of the pubs, they closed all of the casinos. Part of it's because there were a lot of people, and a lot of friends came to me over the weekend, said that there wasn't good social distancing going on. And it is interesting because my cafe is kind of surviving in the fact that they have a takeout window. And so people are going to go do takeout. I'm going to go get my coffee because I want to support them for as long as I can because they take care of me all of the rest of the time. But I was talking to our producer friend, Alex Mitchell, and he said, oh, he has a friend who's quite a big name chef in Sydney. And, yesterday they just basically closed the restaurant down, but then completely pivoted, just basically on a dime, to offering a gourmet food delivery business, this is not going to be your Uber Eats fare. This is not your Thai meal, which there's nothing wrong with that. But this is actually, if you want to have a nice night in, because let's face it, we're all going to be having a lot of nights in.
Yeah, I mean, that's happening all around here right now. It's really interesting that it's about a nice night in, but it's also about let's support our local restaurants because everybody is worried. Part of it is like hashtag flatten the curve, but part of it is, we have to keep our local community alive.
Yeah, exactly. And for people who do have money and aren't trying to conserve it because they're not on the dole, this is the way that we can do it. But the thing is, I think if you're a business, if you're a restaurateur, restaurateuring has been in some ways completely untouched by the digital revolution, right? I mean, there might be online booking and stuff, but that's kind of it right now. And all of a sudden it's like, whammo, wait a minute, we've got to handle delivery and logistics and all this stuff. How do we think about that if we're a little business trying to go, wait a minute, I have to go online because it's the only way I stay in business?
It's another example of how this life, this fourth revolution, this era, and particularly now this moment of absolute chaos and uncertainty is about adjacent opportunity. So no longer can we say this is what we do it really well, we're going to focus on that. This is not the time for that. This is the time to look around the furry edges, on the edge of chaos where the magic happens. You know that, Mark.
Yep.
And look for, because I was the same. I was talking with a building company. Now they can't digitize. What do they? I mean, they build things. They build stuff, and that's always been my love of building. Is you build stuff, you get a result. What do you do when you digitize? And I was saying to them, look, perhaps now is the time to look to adjacent nurseries, adjacent poultry houses, and perhaps you're going to start sending out kits for people to have a vegetable garden in a time of crisis, to have chickens, to do something that's like the victory garden.
But it's like, it's like an IKEA approach, right? We're going to ship you a flat pack and an Allen wrench and good luck to you.
Yeah, but it's not even, if you've got someone that's taken such care and such precision, what you're getting is kind of a bespoke thing that you assemble, and then they can go to the nurseries. Because right now where I live in Marin in California, everybody's ready to plant their veggies before summer, and we cannot get our hands on anything because the nurseries haven't started home delivering and they're not getting their supplies in. So what an opportunity. It's a tricky one. And when you're talking to businesses that are literally putting people off, looking people in the face who have families, completely freaking out, especially in a country with a pretty crappy social securities net. I have been kind of using the Michelle Obama quote that I love. And tell me how this resonates with you, Mark, because I think right now more than ever, do not make decisions based on fear. Make decisions based on hope and possibility, based on what should happen, not what what's the last bit of it? I don't even know because I'm so into what should happen, not what might not happen.
And see, here's the thing. So, a lot of Californians are sheltering in place because that's the law right now. And I pinged my sister. I was like, so you and my brother-in-law must be at home right now. It's like, no, my brother-in-law is co-manager of a Costco. He's working overtime because people need to be fed. She runs the IT for a logistics company. She's working overtime now too because delivery. So it's, in some sense, we have to think of this is a wartime economy. There are actually roles here that need to be filled. And we now have a whole bunch of people who need work. So a lot of this is about rethinking how do we get the people who are suddenly out of work into the roles that we need so that you do get the plants there, so that you do get the delivery, so that people can shelter in place and yet still manage to take care of themselves.
And of
And
course,
again, it's also sudden. I mean, that's why we haven't thought about it.
yeah. I mean, you and I were talking about how this is actually a massive revaluation of people who work with their hands and service people, because I think you called it hazard pay. You know,
Yeah.
they're going minimum wage to these people who are on the front line against an incredibly infectious thing that we know nothing about.
I got a package delivery from my Australia Post postie yesterday. And when he rang the bell, there was a look of fear in his eyes. And he said to me, "How are you doing?" And really what he's asking is, "Are you going to infect me?" And, we managed to hand the package over without ever actually me touching him. But nonetheless, you can see frontline workers, there is a hazard pay because that kind of contact is going to be difficult. And yet we need that now more than ever. And so we do need to reward these people. And we also need to now start shifting people into this kind of work where they're well suited for it, where they're in a low risk category and looking for work.
Feel this is a ripe area for innovative thinking, Mark, and I think we could really spend quite a few episodes looking at the potential for finding better pay for these people, finding better work, and finding adjacent opportunities for every scale of business.
And on that note, I'm Mark Pesce.
I'm Sally Dominguez. Stay safe, Mark.
Stay safe, Sal. And this was The Daily Future.